And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Back in studio, Anna Van Landingham's Pinterest Pro Solutions. Welcome back in.
Thank you very much, Brandon. I'm glad to be here today. And as he said, I own a company called Pinterest Pro Solutions, where I manage your Pinterest account and drive traffic to your website.
Excellent. I love it. We're going to talk about historical hotels today. Historical hotels on Pinterest Pro. Pinterest. Teo Leonard back in the house, the web design ninja. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, thanks. Always a pleasure to be here. I thought today we'd talk a little bit about website speed and some of the ways that you can improve your website presence, particularly those people that chose to do their own sites with WordPress, and some of the common mistakes that people make.
I love it. Yeah, common mistakes. Frequently, things are happening out there, so we see the patterns. You model success, and you find out from Teo Leonard how to design your website properly. Also, Stanley Armstrong in the house, estate sales specialist, everything but the house. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you. Excited to be here, Brandon. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm representing everything but the house, and I'm going to talk a lot about estate sales, how we can help people that are moving, dying, downsizing, as well as how we can help everybody out there that's looking to purchase things that they need to put in their houses, patios, vacation homes that they could also utilize by getting from our awesome website.
Moving, dying, downsizing. Interesting. Okay. And, yeah, definitely helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show here on the Quarterback Show. And we want to help you with whatever connections you're looking for out there. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial wheel, your business wheel, marketing, health. There's so many ways that we can help you. So as the hub, think of each spoke extending out as another one of our preferred partners. And we want to engage you. We love it. We had a great week last week. A lot of people calling in, finding out more. They're kind of raising their hand. Hey, yeah, Brandon, I want to know more about credit improvement. How can I improve my credit? How can I avoid identity theft? Brandon, I want to find out how I can stop paying my landlord's mortgage for him, paying rent, and getting into home ownership. I have questions about family law. I've got questions about estate planning. So many different ways that we can help you. That's why we set up this show. Let's jump right into it. Also, later in the show, actually, we've got the top 10 social media platforms in terms of monthly visitors. So that's going to be our top 10. We want to have our expert contributors here guess that on the show. And let's go ahead and jump into it. Anna Van Landingham, Pinterest Pro Solutions. And what are you seeing out there, Anna?
Well, what I'm seeing out there is that Pinterest really is making a way into the market. People are starting to recognize the power of Pinterest, not only for their SEO, but as far as buying power is concerned. And the reason that I decided to focus on historic hotels is because 80% of pinners are planning to travel somewhere, and they haven't yet determined where they want to go.
Nice.
So, a lot of hotels nowadays, I just attended the Southern Innkeepers Conference, and, their big concern is these online travel agents. Well, if they were on Pinterest and they had boards on Pinterest, then they would get people in that aspiration stage where they're looking for where they might like to go on vacation, on their honeymoon, or girls' weekend, whatever, and give them ideas. And then that image is a click-through to their website. And
I like that.
So, it would give them a jump, so to speak, on those online travel agents.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's actually how we picked our place in Cozumel. We were searching for pictures of a certain style. We wanted that palapa, etc.
Exactly.
And we found the resort by going through Pinterest, and the end is that showed up in Google, and then we picked it based on what the resort looked like.
Nice.
And you made a good point in that a lot of times when people Google for something, the Pinterest image is going to come up.
Absolutely. That's...
And so, as a result, you get found that way, too. Even if they were not on Pinterest originally, they were just Googling. Because on the first I'll say it in a minute, the first page of Google a lot of times is someone's Pinterest image, and then that's a clickable link to your website, a call to action. And of course, the key is you got to have a Pinterest-ready website.
Right.
Yep.
You have to have a
Right.
Pinterest-ready website. It has
Yeah.
to all work together in order for it to be successful.
So, Anna, you help businesses, you help business owners and managers or salespeople understand more about Pinterest and how to put their best foot forward in that space.
Exactly. That's really the first thing I have to do is help them to understand how it works.
Right.
Because they really don't. Because Pinterest is so different from the other social medias, and so I have to, explain to them. Like realtors think I'll just put my houses up there for sale and that's it. But there's a whole strategy there that you have to do. And like with the hotels, I tell them you need to show them other things. For example, Four Seasons Hotel, after they set up their Pinterest account correctly and so forth, they had a 1,000% increase to their website per day.
Wow.
Now think about that. That means if they had one, now they have 1,000 per
Wow.
day.
Pretty good.
That's pretty strong.
So, but that's because they did it correctly. And one of the things that they did, which I thought was just so cool, was that they offered a concierge service, so to speak, on their Pinterest account. So you could go on there and you could say, I'm coming to Dallas, for the Dallas Four Seasons. Where are some good places to eat? Because people like to get information from the locals. And so they would have someone answering those questions and interacting with those people.
Wow.
And so it really took off and all. So, but that's it. And so many people think Pinterest doesn't work because they don't do it correctly. And they don't give it a chance to work like it's supposed to work.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Just kind of like you were mentioning, I want to kind of throw this to Teo as well. So when it comes to images, is that a reason why some of these images, because if you're properly, tagging or you're embedding the keywords into the images?
Right. What we recommend with everyone that's doing a website, if you have a product or a service that really is best described visually, we always recommend that you put those out on Pinterest as well as on your website, and you define what the image is, etc. Because of the power of social media, whether it's on Pinterest or Instagram, etc., YouTube for videos, those are indexed so well by Google that a lot of times if you're searching for a certain type of product and it's on Pinterest, that will show up before actually the people's own website will, and then it can go back to the website. So it's kind of an all-inclusive solution.
Yeah.
And it's because of the power of Pinterest with the entire widespread of images that are available that it's quickly becoming a pretty decent search engine for things that are best described visually.
And you made a good point about Google indexing, because the founder of Pinterest, of course, worked for Google. So he's given Google open access.
Yep.
And what the bots like is they like the fact that on Pinterest things are already grouped together. And so that's the reason why it's so good for
Good point.
getting you on that first page. But you also made another good point of writing descriptions.
Oh, you have to imagine that you're describing the image to a blind person.
Right.
Google actually has some cool capabilities to determine what is in an image, but in reality, you want to describe that as if you're describing it to a blind person and put all of the features, etc., that apply to that image as well. So not only if you're trying to take a picture of a beach, a resort on the ocean, you want to describe that it also has the resort has free Wi-Fi, or that it's all inclusive, or that there's 7 restaurants in play.
Exactly.
Because if you're looking for a certain type of property, same with your houses that you're going to list, all of those details come into play, and the more information you provide, the better Google will index it. It's kind of education, information, and then sales. If you're just trying to pump sales down the throat, you can spend a lot of money and get nowhere.
I like that. So education, information, and then that's going to lead to the sales, right?
Correct. But if you're trying to just sell something, that's the worst thing. That's the biggest mistake you can make, whether it's on your website, whether it's on your YouTube video, whether it's on your Pinterest account. You want to inform people and provide a solution, or educate people. That's actually better.
Right.
So if there's a way that you can turn it into an educational service or event, that will do better than the information.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're so right. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is how all of this works together.
Yep.
You know, it's not just one magic bullet. And you have to be patient with that and it working together. You know, you can't just throw up a website and all of a sudden you're going to get all this traffic tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing with a Pinterest account or anything else for that matter. And you have to understand that all of this is going to work together.
Comprehensive marketing plan. You look at the ability to have, you have a blog, and then you're going to pump out, new information. You're going to back to the educational piece that Teo just talked about, educating, and that's what we take great pride in here with the show is doing. And then you look at the next steps. Okay, so the blog is going to connect your website. It's going to have, potentially some pictures in there. You're going to be repeating some keywords, some of those key particular words that you're going to have, houses for sale, Tampa, or whatever the case may be.
Well, but you also don't want to keyword stuff.
Right.
That's kind of also your worst nightmare is we see that all the time on people that build their own websites is they have all these keywords, but then there's no content associated in the paragraphs of it. So they've named their image this, house for sale, waterfront Tampa home, waterfront Tampa home, waterfront Tampa home, but then there's nothing within the content that indicates that keyword, and so that actually will lose you points. And
so you got to describe it more, talk in detail about it more.
Right, and provide education and information about it.
Yeah, I like that. All right, excellent. Some good topics here, talking about Pinterest Pro Solutions today. We're talking about the web design ninja, Teo Leonard in the house, marketing, web design. Also coming up, we're going to talk with Stanley Armstrong, estate sales specialist, everything but the house. And we've got our top 10. We're going to ask our expert contributors here the top 10 social media platforms in terms of monthly visitors. Let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
Right. Lightning rounds, top tips, things to do, things to avoid. Anna Van Landingham, you're up first.
I have to say, in listening to the top 10 list of the number of visits to the social media, one of the things that people need to take a look at is what does that produce? What's the interaction? For example, if you take a look at that in one of my clients, the referral to their website, Pinterest had 2,716 in a month, but from Facebook, 133. And from Instagram, only 23. And from Reddit, 2. Okay? And so you have to look at the whole picture there. Yeah. And then also, 87% of the people that go to Pinterest, they go there to buy something. And that's not necessarily true of the other social medias. And I always want to point that out because when you're as being a former economist, you can make statistics say a lot of things.
Right, exactly. No, I like that. That's absolutely true. Teo Leonard, top tips, things to do.
Hire a professional or just ask a professional to review your website to make sure everything's correct. But, on a side note, or something that is equally as important is get out of the AOL, Gmail, and Yahoo accounts. Get your own email account. I actually got a kid apply for a job that I'm not hiring, but he solicited, and his email was 420experthighschool@yahoo.com.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay. And then, I got a customer that emailed me, she's looking for a website, and they have the domain name, and, it's Trixie69 at AOL.
It's very nice.
Use that.
It's very nice.
So,
alrighty.
I don't know. Get a professional.
Bye, Felicia.
And when I have somebody email me with an AOL email address, I'm like,
Stanley.
So I'm going to say, biggest tip, if you got anything to sell and you just say, hey, I'm not moving, I'm not dying, I'm not downsizing, but you got stuff you want to sell, we can still sell that for you. So jewelry, we're going to get you top dollar. Vehicles, if you got a car that's over $8,000 in Blue Book value, call us, because we're getting over 30% above Kelley Blue Book value on average. So excellent. I want people to know doesn't have to be a full estate. Call us. Let's do a consultation because we can still get items sold for you guys.
That's right. Reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to plug you into our network of expert contributors, and we want to help you win no matter what you're facing. Giving a big shout out to Kipton's, the Hotels and More on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude on the Intercoastal Waterway there. You can bike to the beaches. They have rooftop yoga on the weekends. They've got karaoke Thursday nights. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% discount off of your secure room stay at the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food, handing it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. Continue to tune in to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com. Check out our website, consumerqb.com. On Twitter, at Brandon Rhymes1. And check out our Pinterest page as well by Anna Van Landingham. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.